Hey there, we're Talia and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth. It's May, Mercury retrograde is over, eclipse season is over, so why does everything still feel so intense? So since mid-February of this year, the planets have been concentrated in just 3 or 4 signs predominantly. And that has made our energy concentrate in just a couple of areas. So if you feel out of balance, if you feel like you're experiencing certain things really intensely with nothing to kind of level it out, that is a direct reflection of the energy in the planets. As above, so below. And it's not just an eclipse hangover. It's just that this particular eclipse season, we had so many planets in Aries in April. Now they're kind of split between Aries and Taurus. And later this month, they're going to start to disperse. But almost every planet, except for the South Node, right now as we enter May, we've got Pluto in Aquarius, then we've got Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, and the rest are split between Aries and Taurus. So that's rare and unusual. It's what's called a bucket-shaped chart, where the handle of the bucket is just one thing. That would be the Libra South Node, and everything else is all clumped together. So that's a metaphor for how you might be feeling, like, whoa, what's up? Why am I having such big emotions, such intense experience of things? Like, why am I not handling the things that life is throwing at me with my usual grace? Or it could be, in your case, like, I'm really focused on everything that I'm doing in this almost obsessive way. So when a concentration of planets is happening, then your energy concentrates too. So you could have some parts of your life that are wildly successful and some that feel like a total flop, or at least some kind of a struggle. Like, it's not just coming easily. The things that are coming easily, it's almost like there's no friction, so they're just rushing at you. And then the things that are hard feel like really extra hard because there's no cosmic support there. So it's gonna level out. June and July, the planets will start to disperse and your energy will too. So someone asked me the other day how I'm doing, and I said kind of flippantly, like, never better and kind of never worse. And I didn't really mean that. I have so much to be grateful for, but it was kind of how I was feeling, like, oh my God, everything I want on paper in so many ways is manifesting, and very quickly, like things that I put on my vision board, like going to speak. I have all these talks I've been invited to give, but at the same time, I feel like I haven't had time to prepare certain things, like what to wear, and, what if someone wants to buy something from me after a talk? I've got to set all these things up. So it feels like there's not enough time to put a foundation and systems in place to support all the expansion and growth and really take advantage of it properly. Of course, you, like me, if you're listening to this, are probably a high-functioning person. We get it done. We always do, but maybe we make it look easy, but the experience of it is not easy. It's not ease-filled. And if you're feeling that way too, like, yeah, I'm going to pull it off, but I don't feel great on the inside. I feel exhausted, burnt out, overstretched, or maybe I overdid it with the celebrations for my birthday if I'm an Aries, whatever it is. It just kind of feels like the things that you maybe used to feel confident about, like, I've got this, maybe just those bumpers aren't even there anymore. And I think part of that is post-eclipse, post-total solar eclipse. I called that eclipse the reverse slingshot because we got launched out of the eclipse cannon, and in New York, it was with an earthquake. And then Mercury retrograde came and, like, yanked us back. So it was like, here you go, off into the world. Launch your dreams, eclipse. And then, like, wait, I'm going to slam the brakes. I'm going to ride on the brakes. It's Mercury here. So now that we move into May, luckily, we have more planets in Taurus. We've got Venus, the Sun, we've got a May 7th new moon, we've got Jupiter and Uranus. So it's, we're going from the charging ram to the charging bull, two of the most stubborn signs too. So we're also going to be kind of digging in our heels a bit too. We're still going to potentially do things where we are resisting what we know might be a good thing for us to do, but we're just going to be like, nope, I'm doing it my way. I'm going to just be tenacious and maybe a little stubborn. So if you're that way this month, forgive yourself because, sometimes we got to go through it. And there is an end in sight because on May 25th, Jupiter is moving signs. It's going to its next 12-month cycle, moving from earthy Taurus to airy Gemini, the sign of communication, community, kindred spirits, the twins. Now, Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini, meaning it's uncomfortable because Gemini is kind of about facts and figures, and Jupiter likes big ideas. So it's not the easiest place for Jupiter to be, but it's going to be there until June 9th, 2025. And, it may bring some exciting new ideas. If you haven't listened to our 2024 Trend Report episode yet from January, we talk a lot about Jupiter and Gemini. Gemini rules transportation, media, schools, neighborhoods. Those are all areas where we may see some exciting developments and changes. So I'm going to focus my cheat sheet on Jupiter and the shift that each element of signs is going to make. So if you are a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, then during Jupiter and Taurus, you grew a lot around really handling those day-to-day mundane kind of things, consistency, schedules. The last year of your life since mid-May 2023 was really a lot about processes and systems and productivity. You worked hard. You did a lot of things that were not sexy or exciting, but may have left you feeling much more grounded and anchored, even if it was a little bit boring and repetitive sometimes, or required a lot of advanced planning, which isn't always your favorite thing to do. Like, you like to make a plan when it's, planning a party or an event or something you really want to do, but the nitty-gritty administrative details, not as much. And you had to go through all of those different protocols and processes. So congratulations, Aries, Leo, and Sag, because you are graduating from that and moving on. Jupiter and Gemini is going to be about partnerships, relationships, and collaboration. So much lighter, so much more fun for you. It's really about teaming up with someone who's creative, cutting edge, creating a collaboration, seeing how far you can take your ideas when you bring your superpowers together. So that is going to be way more exciting to you than the last year. But honestly, if you hadn't gone through this last Jupiter cycle of Jupiter and Taurus, you might not actually have the discipline to be ready for Jupiter and Gemini. It prepared you because you can be a little impulsive about partnering up, like, oh yeah, sounds fun, great, cool. And then before you know it, you've got yourself in something that you need to back out of and can't so easily. So what's great is that, the lessons learned, don't throw those away, because you will be a much better picker of people and partners when all the exciting, shiny ones come into your world, starting May 25th of this month. If you're an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you had a very exciting year. You tend to like things steady and predictable, but you had the opposite of that. It was a lot of new, fast-moving changes and opportunities. You really had to learn how to think on your feet and be fast-paced, a lot of travel or growth or new adventures. And that was a really major growth opportunity, but a little bit exhausting for you because you like to plan and predict, and you couldn't exactly do that because sometimes you didn't know what you were going to be doing the next day, week, or month. Well, good news, because Jupiter in Gemini for you is going to be a very grounding, anchoring time. You're going to get to make those plans, make those incremental moves, set the goals, get your day-to-day life and productivity and habits on kind of a regimented routine. And if you have a big goal, especially if you're a Virgo, this is a great, great professional year for you to really make your mark as a leader and expert and capitalize on all that you've learned as you've gone out into the world and gathered up all this new experience. You can now transmute it into wisdom and knowledge and maybe something monetizable. If you're an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, this was a really weirdly emotional time for you. That's not your usual style. You don't like to do feelings before facts. Air signs tend to be cerebral. It's not that you're not a caring, feeling person, but you tend to like to keep that objective distance. That's the air sign way. And you may have found yourself being a lot more reactive or vulnerable, or kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve, admitting that you needed support, taking breaks, taking a rest. You tend to push yourself. You may have found yourself like, wow, I can't run away from this anymore. If you did any therapy or personal growth or inner work, then kudos to you. You may have bonded with family or really gotten more intimate with the people in your life. So a lot of deep inner work. You went below the surface. Congratulations, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And as a payoff, with Jupiter and Gemini and an air sign, you're going to be feeling so much more like yourself. Lots of adventures, lots of fun to be had, lots of new things to try. The spotlight's back on you. You may have felt a little invisible in the last year, like really in that cocoon. So coming out as a very colorful butterfly, and you're going to see that all that work or the rest that you took was not in vain. It was really, it gave you a sabbatical that you needed, and you are coming back. We can't wait to see what you deliver. And last but not least, our water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your last year was unusually social. So you actually, came out of your cocoon and your bubble and your private space and reached out, joined community, reached out to friends. You were more on the go, you were a little distanced from your feelings in some cases in ways that may have been really healthy. Some water signs started speaking up for themselves, voicing their opinions more. It was a little experimental. Not every experiment with it went well because, that can be a new muscle for some water signs. Sometimes you tend to brood quietly or keep things to yourself. And, in the past year, you didn't hold back from saying it or showing it or telling people things. So congratulations for finding a new, more social side of yourself as well. And now, as Jupiter goes into Gemini, you can go back into your watery depths again. It's a more quiet, reflective, introspective year ahead. And, you kind of prefer it that way. So you may have made a lot of acquaintances and have brought a lot of new people into your circle. Now you're going to go more into the inner circle, the inner tier, and strengthen those connections with those people. Really lean on them. Make sure you get lots of support, because there will be some big feelings that come up, and maybe even some spiritual or psychic experiences for you as well. So emotions will be more amplified again. And just make sure that you really have someone to share that with and hold the space for you. So that's a little monthly rundown of what's ahead. It's always exciting when Jupiter changes sign. And we still got more than 3 weeks of Jupiter in Taurus. So if you haven't made the most of that, there's still 100% of that cycle left until May 25th. So go capitalize and get your Jupiter goodies from it. The Astro-style monthly horoscopes have all the details for every sign, so go find out more there. And head over to astrostyle.com/events because we have a few events coming up both live and virtual in May, including a relationship seminar with Meetup on May 9th and a summit for women professionals at the end of May in New York City. We've got a couple of June things coming up too. Stay tuned. We've got a whole bunch more headed your way, and wishing you an awesome, awesome month ahead. On the other side of eclipse season, just remember, things will be balanced out soon enough. So, focus on the things that are energized and just make the most of them. And we will see you on the weekly pod and on our website and social media. Follow us on Instagram at AstroTwins. Have a great May.
As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrocell.com and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.